All right, I think I'm good. Hey everybody, Debo here. As you guys may have known, a couple days ago, the new patch notes came out and they made some alterations. A lot of interesting changes to the Witch Doctors, and things are going to be going on. So we're just going to cover everything what happened in the patch notes, and then, as you know, in the next couple days, I'll be showcasing the Helltooth, probably two different variants. One variant with the Gargantuan build, and one variant without it. I will be showcasing also. Oh my goodness, the our criers set, they also altered that and increased the damage output for that build. One of the coolest things that they did, well, that they did is they added a new. Let me go ahead and click over here. They added a new Witch Doctor skill, or I'm sorry, passive. And the passive skill is called Confidence Ritual. You deal 25% additional damage to enemies within 20 yards. So, long story short, it's just like an additional damage boost. I think a lot of builds that can run it, or, you know, if you can get it on your Hellfire Amulet running that with Gruesome Feast and Pierce the Veil, that's just going to maximize your damage output, and a lot of people are going to be looking towards that. So that's something you can definitely keep in mind. Outside of all of that, let's just go ahead and go back to the patch notes. I'm going to try to keep this video short and straight to the point of what you need to worry about as a Witch Doctor. Other classes, I'm sorry, I'm not too worried about it. One interesting thing here, Kanai's Cube can only convert item sets with a minimum of 3 pieces. The reason why this is because a lot of people were utilizing the focus and restraint. And what if you don't know, the Kanai Cube is you put in some blue, white, death's breaths, and some yellows. And oh, actually, I think I'm wrong. All you had to do was put in legendaries and Death's Breaths, and then a specific legendary item of a set, and you'll convert to another piece of the set. So what people were doing is you get like a focus and restraint ring, right? So you get a focus, you would re-roll it, it would become, or you would convert the item from a focus to a restraint, and then you convert the restraint back to a focus. So it was really easy to get some insane, nearly perfect rolls with focus and restraint. They didn't like that, and I imagine with any other 2-piece item combination sets, people would just do that in order to get the best combination or the best rollout possible. So Blizzard didn't care for that, so you're only going to be able to re-roll set pieces that have at least 3 pieces at minimum. You won't be able to do any set pieces, 2-piece bonuses anymore, or be able to convert them into the other one, because people were abusing that in order to get perfect rolls on their items. Torment level 7 to 10 can only be accessed by level 70 characters. Makes sense because you don't want the level experience to be a little bit too crazy. And the Torment levels now actually from 7 to 10 have a Paragon level requirement. This is I actually agree with, because a lot of people were just leeching inside of public games. A lot of people weren't happy about that. So basically, if you want to join in the T10 or a Torment X game, you have to be at least Paragon level 250, and then it goes all the way down to 100 for 7, which, again, I agree with, because, you know, if you can't handle Torment level 10, then, you know, you don't need to be in there. But then again, I also know this could also deal with a certain situation of people getting power level through Torment level 10 and stuff like that. But I mean, that's only public games, so I guess with private games it doesn't matter. You can still do that. But I guess the major thing is just making it so that people just don't leech off other people. Outside of all that, the Helltooth has been altered a little bit. I won't go into too much of it here. They fixed some issues with the Helltooth not doing the damage of what it's going to do. Basically, they just amped up the damage a lot, and it hits a lot harder. But the cool thing about it is they included Gargantuan and Zombie Dogs to also be a part of what affects or what will get increased damage upon for those specific sets. So as an example, with the Small Man's Ring, with the Convention of Elements, and or Small Man's Finger, Convention of Elements, and, you know, a little razzle dazzle. You can actually get the Gargantuan to hit up to 15 million using, or 15 billion crits, utilizing the Helltooth set. Or if you'd like to go another route, you can actually use some new items and combinations in which they included an one-handed spear that makes it so that the zombie bears cost up to 40% less mana, and then also they have a staff, a 200 staff, that makes it so that Acid Cloud hits harder, but basically the way it boils down for Helltooth is now is this two ways. You're either going to build it two ways. People have already gotten level 59 with it on PTR. However, they do have 1,000 Paragon levels and very stacked gear. But which makes me think if they can get to 59 now, people probably could fish it up to 63, maybe 65 if they pushed it enough and just kept fishing. But the big thing is that Helltooth is going to break it down two ways. You're either going to be running the effect that makes it cost 40% less mana cost for the zombie bears, and you're going to use that in combination with the Helltooth and go that route. Requires a little bit of really solid gear because you're going to be up in the front faces of the monsters and taking a lot of damage. Or what you also could do is go which is the easier route, I think, is the small man's finger build in combination with the Helltooth, and just try to get as much damage as that Raffle Protector, because it does about, like I said, 15 billion crits, and you just get enough cooldown reduction and you see what you can do. So that's two ways players can either go with the Helltooth set. It's doing pretty good right now. We're going to see if they're going to make any other alterations to it. Depends. But the gearing and the items is going to be interesting for that build, because with the Carnival build, it doesn't take too much. You get about Paragon 500, get some pretty okay gear, and you can start pushing up towards 60, no problem. The builds or the people I see that have cleared it have really stacked gear and high Paragon levels, so they might need to alter the build a little bit more again, or we'll have to see. With the Archer set, they basically increase the damage output of that as well too. And I haven't tested it yet, so I'm not too for sure. So I imagine it should be able to do at least up to 55. I don't know if it's going to be able to do higher. I'd like to test that with the Firebats build, but like I said, that's going to take time for me to get that all tested, and I'll release that out in later videos. But those in regarding the two changes to the sets were just basically improvement to damage and making them hit a lot harder, and making sure that the skills were acting appropriately to what they were supposed to do, because some issues they weren't doing it before. Rift Guardian's health has been slightly increased. I agree upon that because they were too low before. I don't know how they're going to be making the adjustments in the greater risk, but currently right now the mob density is at the hit or miss. It seems like once you hit about 51 or higher, the mob density is good. Anything below that is pretty much crap. The pylon placement still is pretty much the same thing, but it's the conduit trend is just still too powerful. I felt like a lot of the times, like, I can just manipulate certain things, or just, if as long as I get a conduit trend at a certain point, I'll be able to get so far ahead that I don't have to worry about, falling behind time. So people might start looking in the rift saying, okay, let me see if I can find a conduit trend. I can. Okay, screw it. Let's leave and restart and do it again. Everybody knows about the Kanai cube. We talked about that in my last video. All the classes are pretty much straightforward. Hex and Horrify got their little changes and stuff like that. I mean, there's really not too much else to talk to besides that. The big thing was they had to go ahead and just get in there and just alter the Helltooth set and the Archer set. They did do a little couple changes of Fire Badge. The damage increase from 425% to 475 weapon damage. Initial mana cost has been removed, which is fantastic. Channeling mana cost has been increased, which makes sense. They also included the item that was good for the Fire Bat set that makes it so that when you cast Fire Bats, you get massive loss of life on hit. They also included when you cast Fire Bats, you get a 40% damage reduction. So I don't think that's going to be used too much with the Helltooth set. I think it might have some potential to be used with the Helltooth set, but I think it's going to be really bigger in the Archer set, but we'll have to wait and see. But that extra 40% damage reduction in combination with the zombie walls, that's like 90% damage. You won't be taking any damage, and especially with life on hit. I don't know if you'll still be able to be knocked back, but there's other things you could break down and use so you never do get knocked back, but that was definitely pretty interesting. And it was definitely long overdue. And then also Grasp of the Dead got a little bit of a buff, which is needed because not many people were taking it outside of using it as effect to manipulate the 6-piece Zunimasa set. Hex received no changes. Wall of Zombies got a couple alterations there and there. The Zombie Charger animation has been cast up. Instead of it taking so long of a delay, it's actually pretty rapid now, so you can spam it pretty crazy. Pylon got increased. Undeath got increased. And Zombie Bears got increased damage, which is all good, so it'll combo in well with the Helltooth. Fierce Loyalty. The movement speed is granted while you have a zombie dog, gargantuan, or fetish following you, even if they are in combat. Or half of the 30% movement speed bonus is now granted. So, basically, what that means is before you were only getting 30% increased movement speed when you were not in, when your pets were not in combat. But now you get half of it, even if they are in combat, which is pretty cool. Of course, since also the other passive, which I showed off here, the confidence ritual. That's, like I said, that's just another passive they added. So I imagine a lot of people are going to try to be getting those in Helltooth and starting getting themselves situated so they can start building their Supreme Witch Doctors and getting things done. But like I said, coils of the first spider, while channeling fire bats gain the life on hit, and then 30% damage reduction while channeling fire bats. Last time I was in, I was 40%, so I could be wrong right here, or maybe in game it was too high. Increases the attack speed of Wall of Death by 30%, and it'll also be able to cast within 2 seconds of cooldown. I don't understand what the increase the attack speed is. I'm not too for sure. I don't know if it increases the cast animation so you can spam it faster, but I'll have to look more into this. But I mean, it's pretty much doing what it was supposed to do again. And then it says enemies hit by the 2-piece set now for the Helltooth. Any skill listed in the 6-piece set bonus are affected by necrosis, becoming slowed and taking 1,000% weapon damage every second for 10 seconds, which is pretty cool. And then also the cool thing they included is they made it so that even if you have the 2-piece set, if you're in a group, you'll make that monster take 15% extra damage from all sources, which will be a little bit helpful. As you can see here, the spider got actually buffed up to 2,500. I was talking about that before, how the 2-piece set bonus needs to be a lot more powerful. And then, of course, they got from 600% up to 800%. Creature skills, core spiders, firebacks, hex, locust swarm got added, so that's a big addition. So I look forward to trying the Achara set with locust swarm and see how that goes. With Quetzalcoatl, that might be pretty interesting. That's going to make the locust swarm hit extremely hard. So I don't know if that's going to be the greatest thing since sliced, but it's definitely going to help out with the AoE. I'm going to have to test that, so I look forward to when I get all the pieces so I can definitely do that. I mean, that's pretty much all the major things that we have to deal with. Like I said, and of course I was talking right here about the Scrimshaw. Basically reduces the mana cost of zombie charger by 30-40%, rolls with 30-40% increased zombie charger damage, which is great. I don't know if it's going to basically give both powers. I think what it's going to do is just simply give one power. And, I mean, of course, they have the new legendary gems. I'm not too worried about that right now. It's not that too big of a deal. It seems to be okay. And, I mean, that's pretty much about it. The Reflect is still in the game the current way it is. They made some other changes and slight alterations. But I guess the biggest thing that you guys need to know if you're playing a Witch Doctor, what's the best build for Witch Doctor still currently on PTR? That's Carnival build and nothing's coming close to it. After that, you got the Helltooth and the Crier set. They seem to be doing okay, but they might need some slight alterations or tweaking. And then Jade build needs a little bit more love, and then outside of all that, you got everything else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video. It was just for me to let you guys know I'm going to be having content releasing in the next couple days, so get ready for that. And update you on what changes they made since the last patch iterations on PTR patch 2.3. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the videos. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next upcoming videos talking about the Helltooth set and our Car set, so take it easy.